Hi, I'm Carrie Charlick,
I'm Kate.
and we have been fitting bras for 20 years. And we're going to show you today how we do a virtual fitting. So, before we do a virtual fitting, we do send an email out to a customer before the virtual fitting to kind of go through what we want to have to be ready for that virtual fitting. So, we ask them to wear an unpadded or lightly lined bra, not a compression bra or a sports bra. Have a soft fabric or, plastic measuring tape, and have a quiet, private space with good lighting, and also to have good internet access if we're doing it via Zoom or FaceTime. So, then our next step is we like to ask some questions. Kate, do you want to pop up the questions we like to ask?
Will do. Okay, here's an example of the questionnaire, and we will share that with you just so you know what we are going through with our guidelines.
Okay. So, the questions I like to ask is getting to know the customer. So, the first question I like to ask is, Kate, what size bra do you normally wear?
And again, I'm going to answer as if I'm a customer that doesn't really know exactly what they're doing. So I'm going to say between a 38 to 40 triple D to a G, just depends on the bra.
Okay, good. And then, Kate, where do you normally buy your bras from?
Again, a typical answer would be Kohl's or online.
Kohl's or okay. And then, how old are the bras that you are normally wearing?
Typical answer, probably 3 years, sometimes four.
Okay. And this is where I would jump in and explain a bra's shelf life, which a shelf life of a bra is a year, and it's based on rotating three bras equally. Bras have stretch and give, and they give out over time, so you will not have that same support. So the next question I like to do is, what style are you specifically looking for?
Just something that gives coverage.
Coverage? Okay. Do you like lace or do you like a
No
seamless look?
lace,
No lace? Okay.
seamless.
No lace. Okay. And then how do you like your bras to fit? On the tighter side, looser side, or somewhere in between?
We like it. I like it loose, please.
Like it loose. Okay. And then which hook do you have your bras on currently? Do you have it on the tightest hook or the loosest hook or the in the middle?
So here's where Carrie's going to discover that I actually am wearing a bra that comes in a small through 3X sizing as opposed to having something that has a balance of a cup and a band. So I'm going to tell her that I'm wearing a 2X bra.
Okay. Okay. So you don't have any hooks. Okay. Okay. Thank you. And then do you have any issues with your bras right now? Is it too tight? Does it ride up? Do your straps fall
I'm
off?
not very supported.
You're not supported. Okay. You want to feel supported, right? Okay. And then if you were to go to the store and buy a dress or a blouse, what number size do you think you would be buying?
Probably a 14.
A 14. Okay. And then finally, I have to always ask this question. Be honest. How do you normally wash, dry, or store your bras?
I just toss them in the laundry. I don't
Okay.
really think about it.
Okay. And how often do you wash those?
Maybe every two, probably three wears.
Okay, good. That's good to know. So we have a saying here, Kate, at Essential Bodywear. It is one to wear, one to care, one to spare, because we believe in rotating three bras equally will last you a year of good coverage and good support. And fun fact here, you don't have to wash your bra every time you wear it. So I was glad to hear you say that you wear it at least three times before washing it, which is really good because if you give it a day to air out while you're rotating your bras, you should be good to go. So now we're going to jump into our fitting. So Kate, do you want to show them the little cheat sheet that we use for measurements?
Yep.
Just to have,
So here's our virtual fitting guide, and you will also be getting a copy of this.
okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to do a couple different measurements, Kate. We're going to first start with our traditional measurement. So this is assuming you don't have a chart or anything. We're just going to do the old-fashioned way of doing it. So the first thing we do is we want you to measure right underneath your breast tissue. So, and that measurement needs to be snug. And since Kate, you don't have a real supportive bra on right now, I need you to lift your breast tissue up and I need you to go directly underneath your breast tissue. You can go sideways so I can kind of see you stay
So
parallel to
let
me.
me so we're going to make sure that it is completely horizontal, and we're going to have to lift up the breast tissue.
Hmm.
See how we're doing that? Lift it
Yep.
up and
And
then
go tight as you can go.
measurement. And I am measuring at a 38.
38. Okay. Now, 38, when you get to like 38, so on my little cheat sheet, you guys, I have a measuring tape here that puts her on the border of being a 38 or 40. Now, she did say that she likes to wear a loose measurement, but let's just start with the 38 just for kicks and giggles here because bras do need support, and so I want to make sure she gets the best support she can get. So next measurement, Kate, is I want to do a measurement that's around your widest part of your bust. And so, Kate, I need you to kind of, yeah, go. We're gonna go around and we're gonna go to the widest point of your breast. Yep, like that. And now that needs to be like a loose measurement, not a snug measurement. So I don't want to see any indentations. Yep,
If you're dimpling, you're too far back off.
yep,
And
yep.
as a virtual fitter, do I look like I have it
You got to move your elbow a
straight
little bit more.
across? Okay.
Move your, yeah, okay. Yep, okay. So, Kate, can you give me that number?
Yes, that is 46.
46. Okay. So now we're going to do a little math here. So we're going to go 46 minus 38 is 8, right? So
Mhm.
now we're going to count and do the alphabet with our fingers. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So we are going to say that's like a 38H, okay? So it's a little bigger cup than what you've been normally wearing, but let's try that there.
Okay.
Okay. And then for another way to measure, which is using our cups method, and since you don't have the cups with you, this is where we actually use the Abby cup. I'm going to ask for a couple different measurements just to kind of see what's happening, Kate, okay?
Okay.
So the first measurement I'm going to ask you to do, and Kate, since you don't have a real supportive bra in there, I'm going to ask you to kind of cup your breast tissue. Yep, kind of cup it up so that you would look like you would have a normal bra on. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to do the go across your whole breast tissue. You're going to do me a horizontal measurement.
Okay. And across
Yeah.
the fullest part.
Yep.
That's tricky. That is really tricky with a
With the bra that you
compression
have
bra
on.
on.
Yes.
Okay, that's 12 and a half.
Okay. 12 and a half. Okay. And that would put you in between a 38G and a 40F. Okay. One more measurement, Kate, I'm going to have you do. I'm going to have you go vertical, and I want you to go right underneath your breast tissue up to your nipple.
Okay, so again, I'm going to have her
Do.
push up
Mm-hmm.
and go to where the nipple would be,
Mm-hmm.
and right around 4.5.
Four and that might still be like a 38G, I would say 40F, there. So Kate, based on kind of what we're seeing here, you're in between a 38G and a 40F. So that means you could, or in a 38H. I wouldn't mind recommending that we start with that 38G and just see how that fits. Now, I have to ask you, when you last time you wore your 38G, did you have any spillage in it at all?
I had a little bit of spillage up over the top.
Okay, so we could go to a 38H. I would rather go a little bit bigger and have the coverage because did you know your straps of your bra can adjust your cup size? So if one seems to be a little bit bigger, you can always adjust it with that. So I would recommend a 38H.
And a quick side note, also remember that it's very normal that you will have ladies who will be bigger on one side than the other. That happens. It's very, very common. You
Hmm.
always want to fit the larger breast because you don't want to, they have a little pocket here, but they're spilling out here. That's just not going to work. So always fit the larger breast.
Yep.
measure.
That's a very good tip. Just like our feet are two different sizes, so are our breasts. And so we would never buy a shoe that is too small. We always fit the bigger foot because we want to be comfortable. I always say the little sister will just come along for the ride. We just need to adjust the strap and go. So thank you for joining us for our virtual fitting training today. And the next one we're going to be doing is when Kate's wearing a traditional bra. You can see it's a little bit easier to get the measurements. So anyways, hopefully you find this tool is helpful. And be sure to reach out to Kate and I anytime. We're here to help.
Bye now.